The Building Opportunities for Resilience in the Horn of Africa, also known as BORESHA, is a cross-border project implemented by a consortium of the Danish Refugee Council, World Vision International, Tetra Tech, and CARE International. BORESHA works with local communities and public authorities to establish transformative processes to enhance the cross-border socio-economic integration and support resilience in the fragile and underdeveloped borderland areas between Kenya, Ethiopia, and Somalia. Its overall objective is to promote economic development and greater resilience, particularly among vulnerable groups. BORESHA has been implementing activities related to disaster risk management, livelihoods, and private sector development and natural resource management using a conflict-sensitive lens and in close partnership with local communities and public authorities.
We thank the European Union for giving us these privileges to fund the BORESHA, and it has changed the lives of the community in very many ways.
Tunasomesha watoto wetu, hata tukipata kitu kidogo tunapatia watoto shule. Kama akina mama wengine wako na shida pia tunasaidia, kama si tuko na shida tunajisaidia. Wengine ni hawana baba, watoto wanajisaidia kama orphans, wanapata daily bread yao hapa.
Hiyo tangi umesaidisha sisi, alikuwa tuna tangi moja katika hii center hii, na sasa watu tumepata nafuu.
With a single mission of building resilience of communities in the Horn of Africa, the project dubbed BORESHA works on an effective cross-border agenda of empowering communities to withstand shocks presented by climate change, drought, and other factors. Funded by the European Union Trust Fund for Africa, the project adopted a community-driven approach to address the risks and opportunities in cross-border areas between Kenya, Somalia, and Ethiopia as it promotes economic development and greater resilience of vulnerable communities at risk of migration or displacements. BORESHA set out on a target of reaching 350,000 beneficiaries through its various interventions in the Mandera Triangle. The project worked with local and national government authorities, community leaders, young people, women, youth groups, women's associations, local communities, the private sector, and local business leadership in Mandera, Gedo, and Dolo Ado.
You have impacted skills into our youth. You have improved the lives of the many in my ward and by extension in Mandera County.
Touching the most vulnerable, for targeting the vulnerable youth and giving them skills that will earn them a sustainable livelihood. We say thank you.
The project has achieved great milestones towards the original goal under the 3 outcome areas, namely resilience building. BORESHA facilitated communities in Kenya, Somalia, and Ethiopia to identify their vulnerabilities and capacities through a process called COVACA. Through this process, communities developed disaster risk reduction, DRR, and contingency plans to enhance their resilience capacities to absorb, adapt, and transform in face of the multiple shock constantly faced. 16 priorities in the 37 DRR plans were either integrated into local government plans or funded. So far, communities were able to manage 56% of the shocks that hit them in the last year.
Na shamba tumepatiwa vitu ya kupanda nayo kama nyazi ya kupanda na masimu na mingi, kiti ya kufanya kazi na majembe, tools ya kufanya kazi na shamba kama jembe, kama shovel ndio umetupatia, na kazi ya food for work ambayo tunakata algrop wametupatia kukata mashamba barabara ambayo inaingia na simu na mingi. Kwa hivyo wametusaidia sana.
BORESHA, during its period of implementation, created awareness on index-based livestock insurance, IBLI, to educate livestock holders on the available livestock insurance services and link them to the insurance service provider. The aim of this process is to educate the pastoralists on protection of livestock against forage scarcity occasioned by drought and allow them access and benefit from various financial products such as livestock insurance offered by financial institutions to improve their socio-economic condition and overall well-being. Through the awareness, many households have increased their use of the IBLI scheme and mitigated losses of their livelihoods due to recurring droughts. ILRI and the insurance providers, e.g. Takaful, have partnered with BORESHA to create the awareness which eventually increased the uptake of insurance policy by livestock owners.
Takaful Insurance are working together with IBLI, which is index-based livestock insurance. We buy premium, and after that, when the drought came, there is what's called trigger. That is read by the satellite. The satellite came after every 10 days once. It take pictures, go back. After 10 days, it will come back and take pictures. So it will come 3 times per month. So it will it will be calculated after 30 days. So it reads what's called trigger. So if that trigger reads below 20% and it is showing the mark of black, that's when the payment is done.
1,326 farmers have so far insured their livestock through index-based livestock insurance out of 1.7 million so far sensitized on the same. Livelihoods, livestock-related activities. BORESHA established 19 livestock common interest groups, LCIGs, comprising 551 members to promote livestock value chain development in their respective areas of expertise. LCIG groups were trained to get equipped with knowledge and skills to improve the management and profitability of their enterprises. All of them are involved in fodder production and have harvested and continued to use the fodder for their livestock needs as well as sold some to earn income.
So we thank the Almighty Allah. After that, we thank the European Union and the BORESHA consortium who has really helped us, of which we have overcome the drought problem. So that money that we get, the payout that we get, we buy it with fodder, water, and also food stuff for our family.
The project supported mass treatment and vaccination of livestock to control and eradicate diseases affecting livestock trade and production in the area that included CCPP and PPR. 488,052 people, 83,977 households have benefited from livestock vaccination campaigns with a total of 1,148,192 animals so far vaccinated and or treated in Somalia, Kenya, and Ethiopia. Community disease reporters, CDRs, community animal health workers, CAHWs, continued to support better livestock diseases reporting.
BORESHA marka faa'iidooyinka yanin soo bidi eeda aan kama hadiyana faa'iidada yanin soo bidi ma ata training aan soo bidi walana barti bayla nase qalab kale nase onayna ka shaqeeyo hayna hawla daawayo hayn faa'iido ku halahayn faa'iidada uu ku halna marka ariinyo iskuulku dhabo hayn marka may kale ka soo bixayna reerkan ka masarufdahay eeda faa'iido ku halni mahadwin aan nagaan.
Village Saving and Loan Associations, VSLA. BORESHA project formed 195 village saving and loans association groups comprising 4,853 members, of which 90% are women. VSLA groups were supported with training focusing on group dynamics, management of cash flow, business skills, financial literacy, and saving and loan methodologies.
wax weyn ayay noo gashay anagoo barnaamijka ku sameeysanayna galowda ayaa maxay ahayd qolkaana loo dhisay maxay ahayd haddana sanduuqyo noo aduuday sanduuqyii faa'iido weyn baan ka gaarnay faa'iidadii ganacsi baan ku sameysanay ganacsigii maxay ahayd hadda heer buu noo marayaa ma haddaasna ilaahay baa iskale laakiin DRC waxa iskale boorasha.
During the life of the project, VSLA groups have continued to save and provide access to credit for the members, loans used for household level needs for supporting their businesses, as well as for cushioning themselves against impacts of COVID-19.
waxaan fahnay macnaheedu in wax la isku darsan karo oo ayuuta la ridin karo la is amaahin karo faa'iido lacagtii awal iska bixi jirtay ama guriga la iska dhigin jiray aboor cuni jiray waxaan ka faa'iidnay saamiga noo yaala hadduu ruux xanuunsado ama uu dhinto waa kala deensanaynaa hadday beer falitaan iyo nidaam u baahan tahay waan siinaynaa wuu soo celin qofkii aamin ah oo loo garta xeer hoosaad baan u samaysanay iskaashatada DRC si fiican bay noo garab qabatay waxbaan ka faa'iidnay macnihii wadadii ay noo jahaysay.
Private sector development. BORESHA project supported small and middle-level local businesses through the provision of business advisory services, technical assistance for emerging businesses, and through provision of business grants. The project operated business development centers where businesses and individuals sought business-related information and advice.
The BORESHA has helped us, one, training the business skill. We have got the business skill. They have provided us with these beehives. They have given us the cash for work. And we have got a lot of things from BORESHA.
Business skills training for emerging entrepreneurs, young TVET graduates, and VSLA members were also provided for a total of 141 people trained in the business development centers so far. 78 entrepreneurs were selected and received business grants that have been used for establishing and growing local businesses. These businesses have been successful, generating income for their owners and creating employment opportunities for the youth in the area.
Nashukuru BORESHA walinifanyia the right way project. Nimesema asante. In case kama project inaweza patikana kama renewal inaweza kuwa inataka pia renewal guarantee pia guarantee nyingine ndio wapatiwe mimi ndio nifanye hii biashara step ile imebaki pia at least nitengeneze ndio nipandishe kidogo stage ya juu pia. We have operations in Ethiopia.
Skills development. BORESHA supported 568 young men and women to enroll in TVET training. The purpose of the vocational training was to equip young men and women with skills to increase their chances to get employed either by existing businesses or to create employment for themselves. The project supported young men and women in the area to acquire different courses according to the finding and recommendations of the cross-border labor market analysis conducted at the beginning of the project.
wax badan iska bedelay awal waxa ma aqoonin laakiin hadda dad ganacsiga fahmay baan nahay ii sheegayda marka qalin jibinaan daras winaarey noo qabata ganacsi ah sida loo ganacsadayna bartay
abashidi wani si nuqaar qaart Spana tools dawladin BORESHA Spana tools waan kan nuqaar qaartay agitinu darana kida sagulaan deemani waan dibiletinu daran feen.
I have an income daily. I might be get 400, 500 from this tailoring. So I have right now an income.
lacagta koobaad mashruuc badan baan ku fuliyay. Waxa kamid ah frinjeerkaas kale mashiintaas mashiimo oo 7 xabo kuwa cabitaanka ah kuraasta hadda taalo wax badan baan ka faa'iiday. hase ahaatee lacagta ayada ahayd shaqaalihii annagii meesha marka hore oo hadda aan lacagta aan gelinin marka hore 20 ruux meesheeda qaadaysa hadana way weynaatay waxay qaadaysaa 50 ilaa iyo 80 camal fadhigeeda.
In addition to the technical skill, TVET students were also trained on business development skills and provided with startup kits to equip them with means and knowledge required to establish and run successful businesses. Up to now, 119 young men and 100 young women have been employed or have established their own businesses.
Mobile technician boorsan ku shaqeyn jirnay taleefon la soo diri jiray waan u tagi jirnay qofka gurigiisa aan ugu shaqeyn jirnay hadda laakiin alxamdulillah meel bay noo fureen oo startup garanti intayna siinay meel noo fureen hadda dukaankaana noo furan oo nolol maalmeedka annaga staffka annagana hal assistant iyo hal gabar oo shaqaala oo nadiifisaan noo joogto
alxamdulillah boorasha taariikhda ay nagu soo biirtay ee wax na siisay iyo maantadan wax weyn baa iska kaana bedelay in badan kulley ninkii maalinkii lacagta noo bilaabayay ninkii maanta shaqada nada arka asaaba kulley nala turjumi lahaa doo hadda nala joogo.
And this grant has helped me a lot. It has helped me create jobs. It has helped me help my community to invest the knowledge I have into them. And it has helped me gain a lot of profit. And I was able to sustain myself.
Cash for work. BORESHA linked various community-driven planning process with resource to implement elements of those plans through cash for work mechanism. Communities identified the most needed household to be enrolled in the cash for work activities that aimed at rehabilitating community infrastructure while also preserving and maintaining the community's key assets, including access roads, water pans, schools, and dispensaries.
Before they came, we had the challenge for deliveries. We had no space, neither did we had water. But they've helped us with 2 rooms, whereby meantime we are not having a lot of challenge. We are able to conduct deliveries. Also the other room we are using it as a postnatal, whereby we observe mothers after delivery for around 24 hours, then we discharge.
This place has become a learning place for our students. Formerly, we used to go to other farms outside this area, along the river, but now our students can learn within our compound. They can see the different types of plants within our compound. That itself is something great for us. Instead of wasting time and moving out, we can get everything in our compound.
The garden has assisted us because we planted many different trees, and environmental champions were able to plant some crops. We were able to nurture crops here. We were able to get fruits from the plants we have planted here.
This mechanism also helped in providing income for the most vulnerable people within the location who could participate in the exercise, eventually contributing to building their community's resilience as well as improving their livelihood recovery. Cash for work activities have benefited 3,993 direct beneficiaries and 23,958 indirect beneficiaries so far.
The yield has gone up now. Before, the yield is very small due to the size of the water that we get from the shallow wells. After it has been improved, the water now has become permanent, the volume has increased. We use it throughout the year. So the farm has been expanded very well. Very many plants has been introduced to this farm, which before does not exist.
Natural resources management. The project has supported construction or rehabilitation of 12 water points that have improved water access to 103,713 individuals or 17,285 households. Some of the support included equipping of boreholes, installation of solar pumping systems on existing boreholes, installation of solar pump set to existing water wells, installation of pipeline systems, and construction of water reservoirs, among other key initiatives.
faa'iido weyn baan ka gaarnay maxaa yeelay dhulka hadda aan awal biyaha u doonaynay meel bad xireen ama dhiiqa ama 4 bilood 3 bilood lama mari karin hadda marka waa noolaan hadda alxamdulillah xagga biyaha waa ku noolaanay
biyaha waan saacideynaa dad iyo dunyada hadda la kala qaado mid meel laga dhigay oo kiyos meel nagala dhisay oo xagga laga dhisay ilaa oo kiyos xagga u kala ay binu yariin oo dunyada iyo imidada isla qabanayeen oo kiyoska loo baahan yahay sida ilaa inagu saacideynaa
You can imagine we have been getting water from Ramo, almost 10 to 12 kilometers from here. Gari buza moja ina cost 10,000. Saa ingine hata inakosekana kupata maji kutoka hiyo area na hiyo 10,000, lakini saa hizi tumefaidika. Binadamu inatumia, wanyama pia wanatumia, lakini unaona vile saa hii tuko hapa, binadamu wanachota maji hapa, wanyama pia wanawekewa hapa. Hii maji inapelekwa na pipe hapa, inapeleka mpaka kwa hiyo tarafu.
10 water management committees were also trained to manage the facilities. The project also supported construction of water harvesting schemes in 28 schools, benefiting 13,706 beneficiaries.
Sisi kumitia hapa anapata tangi mazuri, anapata maji mazuri, kusaidia sisi mazuri, nasaidia sisi.
Mbeleni ilikuwa inaishia kwa wiki 2 na sasa hii maji imekaa miezi 3 na itaendelea kutumiwa miezi ijao 2 kutarajiwa. Na pia mbeleni maji ilikuwa inanunuliwa na wananchi wa Malkamari kutoka mahali mbalimbali na pesa isiyopungua na 15,000 mpaka 20 gari moja, lakini saa hii imesaidia sana. Pia tunaomba ya kwamba hii pepa vile imewekwa iwekwe fence na pia watu wapate generator ya kunywa hii maji ili ipapiwe kutoka chini ipatikane nje, kwa sababu wamama huwa wanahangaika kuingia ndani na kushota kutoka ndani.
We are very thankful because water was initially a problem to this sub-location. Initially people were fetching water to that borehole where there was a small capepa in a place somewhere. So people were overcrowding, water was being wasted, but right now people with disability, mothers who are pregnant, lactating mothers who cannot fetch water throughout that long distance can easily access that water. There are animals, there are people who are dependent on this borehole. Mainly, even the water boozers can still access it freely because there's a stand which has been constructed to help ease that congestion. It's not only the people, but also I can say it is livestock. People are not charged for the money, but we can say because it is genset which is running, the little amount which is collected is mostly catered for the diesel.
Rangelands rehabilitation. BORESHA supported the rehabilitation of 33 degraded range sites in the project area using various methods such as soil and water conservation techniques, reseeding grasses, replanting indigenous trees, clearing of invasive plants, and establishing enclosures for dry season pasture conservation. The rehabilitated sites monitored showed gradual vegetation recovery and yield of pasture and crops from lands that previously supported very little growth.
Kwanza tumepata elimu, tumepata faida pesa ya semina, tumepata hata kitu ambaye mali ya goigoi kama bana enda mavugo, abana enda mali mbali, tumeweka hapa, tumekula. Wale chunga hapa tumebatia sisi kwa ndani yetu kwa shares shilingi 100.
The rehabilitated grazing reserves are now critical sources of dry season livestock fodder, protecting pastoralists' livelihood system. Communities also established bylaws which are applied in enforcing community rules for better management, utilization, and equitable sharing of range resources. The bylaws stipulate penalties for environmentally harmful practices such as cutting down key indigenous trees, polluting communal water resources, and encroaching into dry season grazing reserves.
Tulifanya kazi mingi, ametusaidia sana, tulishukuru kwa WIG ile wametusaidia naye. Tulishukuru sana, tulipata faida ya fee ya shule, chakula ya nyumbani, hata tumenunua gombe sababu ile nyasi tulibata kutoka hapa sasa gombe yetu ndio natumia, baadaye tubate maziwa ndani.
We masaruf ni kariyaga ngurudan shidal kusagidan masaruf ni bert moska ngurudan gileyta iya balke misigidin karebadan balkan suuqa wadidan hagadidan hoolaan idhikidaan.
Management by alternative utilization of invasive species Prosopis juliflora, alias Madenge. To address the aspects around clearing of invasive plants, the project supported the promotion of alternative utilization of invasive species like Prosopis for livestock feed or as charcoal. The project provided machines for making charcoal briquettes and fodder from Prosopis plants. 749 beneficiaries from 40 natural resource management groups have been supported by the project to produce livestock feed blocks as well as charcoal briquettes for household level use or for sale.
laakiin hay'adda boorasha markay noo timid system ka duwan ayay noo keentay oo waxayna tustay dhuxul kale inaan soo saari karna dabiici ah dhirtina ay ku badbaado ayayna bartay.
This activity has had multiple benefits, including controlling the regeneration of the Prosopis juliflora, increasing access to fodder, availing long-burning and less smoky charcoal briquettes, as well as improved household income. The story of BORESHA is a testimony of how communities living in borderland areas in the Horn of Africa, hit by multiple, frequent, complex shocks, can become more resilient and achieve great success. In our experience, this was only possible through the engagement of local communities, governments, donors, EUTF, NGOs, and private sector actors. This multi-level collaboration is crucial in addressing the complex challenges facing this region.